Hello to you watching this video. So for this video, we're going to discuss about Module 14, Earthworks and Volumes. So this module will explain and analyze earthwork computations and solve all earthwork problems including volume computation. Okay. So earthwork and volumes. So one important aspect of road design is determining the amount of earthwork necessary on a project. Earthwork includes the excavation of existing earth material and any placement of fill material required for constructing the embankment. So before we proceed, ano ba yung earthwork? Earthwork is the work needed to be done on earth materials. May it be excavation or may it be filling. When we say excavation, nagbubungkal tayo ng lupa. When we say filling, nagtatabon tayo ng lupa. Okay, so it is anything work related to moving of earth materials. Okay, so the manual method for determining earth excavation and embankment amounts involve three steps. First, the cross-section of the proposed highway are placed on the original ground cross-section. The areas in cut and areas in fill are calculated, and lastly, the volumes between the sections are computed. Compute cut and fill are the terms that are usually used for areas of section. The terms excavation and embankment generally refer to volume. Okay? So pag napag-usapan ng excavation, embankment, more or filling, we are dealing with volume. Okay? So how to determine the cross-section? So the area of a cross-section, first we have the level cross-section. So for the level cross-section, it is simply a trapezoid. So for a trapezoid, we have here 2D plus W divided by 2 times C. C here is the depth. Okay? And next we have here the 3-level cross-section. You have here area is equivalent to W divided by 4 times HL plus HR plus C over 2 times DL plus DR. So you can get your area. Now for volume computation by end area method, volume by prismoidal method, and if we are going to use the prismoidal method, we will be having correction. So if we're going to use the end area method, it is assumed that the volume between successive cross sections is the average. Okay, we are considering here the average of their areas multiplied by the distance between them. Okay, so for example, ito kahaba yung bubungkalin. Dito kunin natin cross sectional area, then kukunin natin yung cross section area, then we assume that the cross-sectional area here is the average, while the cross-section area here is the average. Okay? So that would be area 1. So area 1 plus area 2 divided by 2 times the length. So that is the end area method. Now for the prismoidal method, area middle is determined by averaging the corresponding linear dimensions of the end sections, and not by averaging the end area, which is A1 and A2. So dito, kinukuha natin yung average corresponding the linear dimensions of the end section. So we are going to use the formula area 1 plus area 2 plus 4 area middle times L over 6. So that is volume of the prismoidal. Now for the correction, that is volume E. So, ito yun, end area method, VE minus VP. Therefore, VC is equivalent to 1 over 12, B1 minus B2 times H1 minus H2. Okay, so don't worry, we will be used that in our illustrative problem. Okay? Okay, so we have here problem number 1. At station 10 plus 020, a rectangular trench was measured and found to be 4.2 meter wide and 1.2 meter deep. Then at station 10 plus 40, it was found to be 4.8 meter wide and 2.7 meter deep. Now we need to determine the volume using the end area method. Okay, so first we need to plot our cross-section area. So it is 4.2 meters So this is 4.2 meters by 1.2 meter deep. And this is at station 10 plus 0, 20. Then at station 10 plus 0, 40, it was found to be 4.8 meters wide. Then it was 2.7 meter deep. Okay, so mas lumaki yung trench natin. Okay, let's try to connect our figure. Actually, imaginary line pa rin dapat yan, no? So, more or less, this is how our trench would look like. Okay? And this is 2.7 meter deep. Okay, so this trench is how meter long, how many meters long. So that would be station 10 plus 0, 40. So for the length is equivalent to 10 plus 0, 40 minus 10 plus 0, 20. And that is equivalent to 10 will cancel, 40 minus 20, that would be 20 meters. Therefore, this is equivalent to 20 meters. Now, to solve using the area method, it is simply area 1 plus area 2 over 2 times the length. Okay? So, for letter A, we have here and area method that is equivalent to the volume is equivalent to area 1 plus area 2 divided by 2 times the length. Okay, so that is already our equation. So area 1 is equivalent to 4.2 meters by this is 1.2 meter deep, 1.2, and that is equivalent to 4.2 times 1.2, 5.04 square meters. Next, we have here area 2 is equivalent to 4.8 meters times 2.7 is equivalent to 12.96 square meters. Okay, so yeah, that's it. We can now solve for our volume. So volume is equivalent to 5.04 plus 12.96 divided by 2 times a length of 20 meters. So volume is equivalent to 5.04 plus 12.96 divided by 2 times 20. And that is equivalent to 180 square meters. Okay? Next would be if we are going to use the prismoidal method. Okay? This one is volume using and area method. So let's say that's VE. Then for the prismoidal, that's VP. So the equation for prismoidal would be L over 6 times area 1 plus 4 area middle plus area 2. Okay, so what is area middle? So area middle would be area 1 plus area 2. So dito yun, ito yung area middle natin. Okay, so this one here is our area middle. So that would be a straight line, straight line. Okay, so that would be area 1 plus area 2 over 2. And that is equivalent to, what is area 1? 5.04 plus 12.96 divided by 2. And that is equivalent to 9 square meters. Now solving for the volume, volume is equivalent to what is the length? It is 20. So 20 divided by 6 times what is area 1? We have 5.04 plus 4 times 9 plus we have here area 2, and area 2 is equivalent to 12.96. Therefore, V volume using Prismoidal would be equivalent to 20 over 6 times 5.04 plus 4.9, 4 times 9 plus 12.96, and that is equivalent to 180 square meters. Cubic meter rather, because it is volume. If there will be error, it is just minimal, no? They must be almost be the same. So kung may konting error man, minimal lang, okay? Or at least it is negligible. Okay, so we have here problem number 2. So given the cross section and side slope of 1.25 is to 1, so horizontal is to vertical, and the base of 6 meter, calculate its volume using Prismoidal equation. Now, if you can encounter this problem is a point plotting. Okay, so at station 1 plus 100, these are the coordinates. At station 1 plus 020, these are the coordinates. Okay, so pwede nyo ring makita na ganito. It would be, you have this 0 over 2.84. Then you have here, it should be x, no? That should not be 0, it should be x. Tapos, meron kayo dito, another x. Then, 2.84 and 2.84. Okay, so ito, pwede rin isulat as 0 diba, over 1.85. Then, 3.65 is to a distance of y. Then, you also have here 7.55 is to the distance of y. Okay, so parehas lang sila. But commonly, you see this type of orientation or yung pagkakasulat. Okay, so the next thing that we need to do is to plot them. Okay, yung nasa gitna, pag sinabing 0 yan, that would be your reference. So, nagagaling ka sa 0. For the numerator, it is the x-axis. For the denominator, it is the y-axis or it is the elevation. Okay? So, pag sinabing at 0, okay? So, pag sinabing 0, nasa gitna ka, nasa point of origin ka. Okay? So, for example, this is your point of origin. So, this one here is 0. Okay? Then, to the right of 0, you have here a distance of x. But, take note, according to our problem, the base is 6 meters. So, it is a two-way lane. So, since the base is 6, we have here 3 meters to the left. No. Yeah. I-drawing lang natin. We have 3 meters to the left. You also have 3 meters to the right. Okay? So, ito yung base natin. Yan yung base nung kalsada or yung huhukayin natin. Now, we have here, next would be sa numerator, 0. So, the distance to the right of 0 is a distance x. So, let's say this is your distance x. From the point of origin to a distance of x. Likewise, to the distance to the left of 0 is a distance of x. So, it is the same. Okay? It has a same distance of x. So, take note, it is coming from the origin. Now, the elevation, yung elevation or the y of distance x is 2.84. So, saan yung 2.84? More or less dito siya. Okay? Now, yung distance x din, yung y niya is 2.84. Okay? So, ayan. So, that is also 2.84. Now, yung 0 natin, 0x, or yung reference natin, or yung point of origin natin, the elevation is also 2.84. So, it plus, plus, plus. Kasi pwedeng negative. Pag negative naman, nasa baba ka. Nasa baba yung ipa-plot mo. Okay? So, if we are to connect this, the base, if we are to connect the base, kasi sabi dyan base, i-connect natin yung base sa mga points. Okay? Yung base dito. And, yan. So, dito, nakabuo tayo ng trapezoid. Okay? So, we have a base of 3 meters. Okay? 6 meters rather. Okay, so dagdagan natin ng details. The elevation or the vertical distance of distance x here is 2.84. So pare-pareha sila, lahat sila, that would be 2.84. Okay? So let's say from this point to the end, that would be distance x. Okay? So that would be distance x. Okay, so etong distance na to, kasi we are given the slope, tama? Ang slope natin is 1.25 is to 1. So we can use this slope in order to solve for this distance here. So let's say ang distance na to is, sabihin natin x1. That would be x1. So we can solve for x1. So x1 is to horizontal is to vertical. Horizontal is to vertical. So horizontal, we have x1 is to the vertical of 2.84. 2.84 is equivalent to the horizontal of 1.25 is to the vertical of 1. Therefore, x1 is equivalent to, so we have here 1.25 times 2.84. That is equivalent to 3.55. 55 meters. We can now solve the value, or we can now solve the area. Take note, this is at station 1. So we assume that this is our area 1. Okay? So, again, this is also equivalent to x1. Kasi pareha sila ng elevation. Okay? So, solving for the area 1 is equivalent to 3 or to the 6 or 6. So that is 6 plus that if we are to project that 6 din ito plus 2 of x1. Tama? So 6 plus 2 of 3.55 divided by 2. Divided by 2 times a height of 2.84. So 2.84. Therefore, area 1 is equivalent to 6 plus 2 times 3.55 over 2 times 2.84. And that is equivalent to 27.122 square meters. Okay? Next would be area number 2. So again, we draw our reference. Okay? So yan yung 0 natin. So this is 0. Now yung elevation or yung y distance ng 0 natin at the 0 is 1.85. So let's say this is 1.85. Okay? Now the next would be the x distance. Here, take note, the base is 6. So wag natin kakalimutan yun. So dito is 3 meters. And dito is also 3 meters. So 3 meters, 3 meters. Okay? Now itong second points itong point natin to the right of 0 or the reference point, that would be 3.65. So 3.65 from origin yung kanya x distance. Then it has a height of 3.65. So kung this is 1.85, more or less 3.65 is around here. Okay? So yan. Okay. Next would be the point to the left of the origin. So it has a vertical distance of 7.55 from the origin. So 3, 6, yan. 7.55. So more or less, ito yung 7.55. Okay? Tapos, this is 3.65. Now, yung 7.55 yan na yan, horizontal distance, it has a y distance of y din. Napagbaliktad natin kanina. So, palitan natin. Ulitin natin. We have here a 0 is to 185. 3.65 is to the height of y. Then, 7.55 is to the height of y. So, magka-height sila. Okay? So, if we are to connect, yung dulo nung base natin, i-connect natin sa mga points na plinat natin. Okay? So, i-connect natin yung mga points. Ito yan. Okay? So, more or less, this is how your cross-section would look like. Okay? So, dagdagan natin yung value. We have here distance y. Then, meron tayong 365. So, this is also distance y. And, ito. So, to get this, itong distance na to, we have here 7.55 minus 3. That is equivalent to 4.55. And itong small distance na to, from this point up to this point, is equivalent to 0.65 meters. Okay? Before we can solve for the area of this cross-sectional area, let's say this is A2. Before we can do that, we need first to solve for the height. So we have here, sabihin natin, y left, and we have here y right. Okay? Vertical is to horizontal, and take note, we have our slope. And the slope is 1.25 is to 1. Likewise with this, so we have 1.25 is to 1. Okay? So YL is to 4.55 is equivalent to vertical of 1 over the horizontal of 1.25. Therefore, YL is equivalent to, am I correct? Is the 1.20. Okay, so tama. Okay. So, 4.55 divided by 1.25. And that is equivalent to 3.64 meters. Next would be YR. YR, vertical, is to the horizontal of 0.65. 0.65 is equivalent to vertical 1 over the horizontal of 1.25. Therefore, YR is equivalent to 0.65 divided by 1.25. That is 0.52 meters. Okay? So, YR is 0.54. So, mali yung drawing natin. Mas mababa siya. Okay? So, we can now solve for our area here. So, solving for the area, hatiin natin siya into smaller triangles. Take note, the height here is 1.85. Yan, vertical. So, this is positive, this is positive, this is also positive. Okay, so hatiin natin siya into smaller triangles. Okay, so that will become area 2. So, area 2 is equivalent to, so we have here the base of 3 times the height of YL. I repeat, the base of 3 times height of YL times 0.5 because it is a triangle. So, we have 3 times 3.64 divided by 2 kasi multiply natin ng 0.5 plus we have here the area, yung pangalawang triangle, we have here 1.85 times 7.55. So 1.85 times 7.55 divided by 2, or simply multiply it by 0.5 kasi triangle nga siya. Okay, yung third naman, it is 1.85 times 3.65 times 0.5. Okay, so 1.85 times 1.85 times 3 meters, 3.65. Okay, 3.65 divided by 2. And lastly, we have 3 by YR. So we have 3 times 0.52 divided by 2. Therefore, area 2 is equivalent to, so we have here 3 times 3.64 over 2 times 1.85 times 7.55 over 2 plus 1.85 times 3.65 over 2 plus 3 times 0.52 over 2. Okay? And the area therefore is equivalent to may mali. So 3.64 over 2 plus ayun 1.85. So it should be plus 1.85 times 7.55 over 2 plus 1.85 times 3.65 over 2 plus 3 times 0.52. Okay, and the answer is 16.6 square meters. Now we are to solve for the volume using the prismoidal method. So again, for the volume, VP is equivalent to um, 3 L over 6 area 1 plus 4 area middle plus area 2. Okay, so we need to solve for area middle. So area middle is equivalent to area 1 plus area 2 divided by 2. And that is equivalent to 27.122 plus 16.6 divided by 2. And that is equivalent to 27.122 plus 16.6 over 2. And that is equivalent to 21.861 square meters. Okay? There's another way of solving for the area of the middle. It is by getting the coordinates of the middle station. How are we going to do that? Now, here, na-solve natin, i-substitute natin 3.64. So, 3.64. Tapos, we have 0.52. Then, we have here, yung x is equivalent to 3.55. Then, x here is 3.55. Now, what is the station? What is the station at the middle? So, ano ba yung gitna? Okay? So, 1,100 minus 1,020, that is 80. That is station at the middle. Okay? And the difference pala, that is 80. So, divided by 2, it is 40. So, 40 meters from station 120. Station 1 plus 0, 20. So, ano ba yung station natin? So, that would be station 1 plus, you have here 1 plus 0.20 plus 40. So, that is 1 plus 0.60. Now, kung kukunin natin yung coordinates, we just get the average, no? So, we have here the reference, 0. And yung vertical niya for the reference would be 2.82 plus 1.85 divided by 2. And that is equivalent to 2.335. Now, to the right of the center, we have here yung x natin is 3.55 plus 3.65 divided by 2. So that is 3.6. 3.6, and for the vertical we have 2.84 plus 0.52 divided by 2, and that is equivalent to positive 1.68. Okay, so positive 1.68. Now to the left of the center we have here 2.84 plus 3.64. Pag negative yan, isusubtract natin. Okay? So, but since it is positive, we're going to add. Then divided by 2. That is 3.24. So, 3. No. Is it the Y? Okay, so tama. 3.24 for the denominator. Tapos, we have here 7.55 plus 3.55 divided by 2. So, that is 5.55. Then, i-plot nyo ito. Then, saka kunin yung area using small triangles. Then, you should arrive at the same area middle. Okay? Now, solving for the volume of the section using prismoidal, VP is equivalent to L over 6. Now, what is the L? So, L is equivalent to 1,000 meters plus 100 minus 1 plus 0 20. Okay? L therefore is equivalent to 80. Okay? So magka-cancel yung 1 tapos 100 minus 20, that would become 80 meters. So L here is equivalent to 20 divided by 6 times, what is area 1? Area 1 is equivalent to 27.122 plus 4 times area middle, that is 21.861 plus what is area 2? Area 2 is equivalent to 16.6. Okay? Therefore, VP is equivalent to 20 over 6 times 27.122 plus 4 times 21.861 plus 16.6. And the area is equivalent to, wait, let's double check. Okay, wait lang. So, mali yung input natin. In 20 yung nalagay natin. So, we correct this. It pays, no? To double check your values. So, we have here, 80 over 6 times 27.122 plus 4 times 21.861 plus 16.6. And that is equivalent to 1,748.88 cubic meter. And this is the volume. Okay, so we have here problem number 3. Find the value of x if the width of the roadway for the cat is 6 meters and 4.8 meter for the fill. The slide slope or the side slope is 1:1. Okay? So, for the first thing that we need to do, in my opinion, it is best if we are to rewrite this, yung medyo hindi nakakalito. But if you can read this on this way and you can go right away with the solution, then well and good. Okay? So, this is the horizontal while this is the vertical. So, at horizontal is equivalent to 0. The vertical is positive 0.39. At horizontal 5.46, the vertical is equivalent to 2.46, and that is positive. Now, at horizontal 0.6 meters, the vertical is 0. Okay? So, nasa 0 tayo. Then, at horizontal x, our vertical here is negative 2.64. So we need to determine what would be the value of x here. Okay, so para mas madali, we need to draw our diagram. Okay, so yeah. So at 0, so let's say this is 0. 0, we have positive 39. So this is 0.39. And we have here for the cut, it is 6 meters. So 6 meters. Okay, let's say this is 6 meters. Then for the point here, for this coordinate, 5.46. So more or less nandito siya. Pero ang height natin would be 2.46. So this is, let's say 1 point, this is 2.46. So nandito siya. Okay? Okay. Next, we have at 0.6, 0.6, it is 0. Yeah, y natin is 0. So nandito tayo. So let's say this is 3, 2, 1. So tama. More or less, this is 0.6. Okay? In-scale lang natin. It is 0.6 meters. So we know na pababa yung curve. So ilagay natin sa taas yung distance. So this is 0.6. Okay? And that the vertical is 0. Now at negative 2.64. Okay? At vertical is 2.64. Ano yung value ng x? But take note, for our cut, it is 6 meters. For our fill, it is 4.8. Paano natin nalaman na ito yung fill natin? Nalaman natin na ito yung fill kasi negative value siya. It is below our point of origin. Okay, so this is 0, this is 0. So nalaman natin na it is nalaman natin na fill rather. Nalaman natin na fill siya because it is below. Okay? So for the fill, the road for the cut is 6, then for the fill it is 4.8. So i-plot natin yung 4.8. So more or less 4.8 is around here. Okay? Okay, so this is 4.8 meters. Now, what would be the value for x having a grade of negative 2.64. So kung ito yung 2.46, ito yung 2.64, more or less yan. Okay? So okay, so more or less nandito siya. So okay. So we have here negative 2.64. Okay. So if we are to connect the dots, we have here at 6. Ang height nito is 2.46. Then pumunta tayo sa 0. Tapos 0.6. Okay. So this is 0.39 for the vertical. Then this is 0.6. Then ito. Tapos take note, meron pa tayo dito na 0. It is 4.8. So i-connect natin yan. Okay? Okay. So ito yung itsura ng ating uh, cut and fill. So you have here your cut section, you have here your fill section. And ang slope natin, according to the problem, it is 1:1. Okay, we can now start. So, using the slope, we can solve for the value of x. Ito yung x natin. Okay? Take note, yung x, hindi yun yung, hindi lang yun coming from the edge of the fill, which is 4.8 meters. It is coming from the center. So, ito yung x natin. Okay? So, i-abbreviate natin yung hahanapin nating distance as x of L. So, x of L, so horizontal is to vertical. So, x of L, horizontal, is to the vertical of 2.64 is equivalent to 1:1. So, we have the slope of 1:1. XL, therefore, is equivalent to 2.64 meters. Okay? So, for the value of x, it is equivalent to basahin natin ulit. For the cut, it is 6 meters. And for the fill, it is 4.8 meters. Okay? So, but if we are going to base it here, ito yung fill natin, ito yung cut natin. So, yung 4.8 would not start from the origin. Rather, it would start from the fill to the point na mag-start yung fill. So, our first diagram here is incorrect. So, yung 4.8 meters is ito lang. Okay, so ito lang yung ating 4.8 meters. So, x is equivalent to 0.6 from the point of origin hanggang dun sa point nung mag-start yung fill hanggang sa 4.8 plus the XL. So, we have here 0.6 plus 4.8 plus XL, which is 2.64. Therefore, x is equivalent to 0.6 plus 4.8 plus 2.64, and that is equivalent to 8.04 meters. Okay?